everybody, and today I'm going to be discussing / comparing the Colosseum and St. Martin in the Fields, so it's kind of like a historical mashup. To begin, the Colosseum was constructed from 72 to 80 CE, and construction began under Vespasian and ended with Titus, who were Flavian emperors. Now, this building had a statue of Nero called the Colosseum standing next to it, so that's where the name Colosseum comes from. And Nero built a structure called the Domus Aurea, or the Golden House, and he was just a despotic ruler, so when the Flavians came, they wanted to disassociate themselves with him, so they destroyed it and built the Colosseum to give back to the people of Rome. So it's basically just two theaters facing each other to form an oval, which is what we think of as an arena now, and this is just the interior of the Colosseum. Now, there was a sand floor called the arena, and it covered a network of service rooms and tunnels for the animals and gladiators, and there was sand at the bottom so it could soak up blood. The Colosseum could seat 50,000 or 55,000 people, and there are 76 entrance doors and 3 levels of seats. And to get people out efficiently and quickly, they had this corridor called a vomitorium that moved people out, and they were just arched exits. Now, the outer wall has successive orders of engaged columns, which means they're attached to the exterior. There's Tuscan, Ionic, and Corinthian, and there's also Corinthian pilasters on the attic story, which is at the topmost story. There was also an awning called the Velarium that spread over the Colosseum on sunny days so it could shade the spectators. And the medium was concrete and rubble mixed together, and the Romans were known for their very durable concrete. And here's just a view of the Temple of Venus in Roma from the Colosseum. And it was inaugurated with a 100-day celebration by Titus, and during those 100 days, 9,000 animals and 2,000 gladiators were killed. And these animals came from all over the world in exotic places. And the veneer is brick facing over concrete, and this is a picture that I took when I was there. And the attic story, remember the story at the top, also has small windows and cartouches. The Jewish slaves built this, and the funds that Titus got when he sacked the Temple of Jerusalem were used to build this very structure. So what you're seeing is cruelty and labor, but it made into a magnificent building. So here's a video of when I was here. Next is the St. Martin in the Fields Cathedral that was designed by the architect James Gibbs in 1726. It is located in Trafalgar Square in London and is next to the National Gallery. And other churches have stood here since 1222 and during the Norman times. And the actual church was surrounded by fields, so that's why it's called St. Martin in the Fields. And here's just a little sign that says Trafalgar Square on it. It was extended in 1542 by Henry VIII, who wanted to deter plague victims from coming near him, so he just made it longer. It was also enlarged by Prince Henry, but it was torn down in 1721. The name St. Martin comes from a soldier in the Roman army who gave half of his cloak / a jacket to a lowly beggar. He was born in 316 CE in Pannonia, and he is known for his humility, humbleness, and being kind to everyone, even the homeless. And he was also the Bishop of Tours, which is in France. Now, the building is in the neoclassical design, and it has a Greco-Roman pediment and Gothic spire, a Roman portico, Corinthian columns, with also a cross on the spire, so it's just harkening back to the ancient classical times. And neoclassicism was just an 18th century movement based off the Enlightenment and René Descartes' cogito ergo sum, which means I think, therefore I am. There was emphasis on science, reason, the middle class, and just going back to the pragmatism of the Greeks and Romans. Now, this is the archetypal church from Britain that is now the standard idea of what we think of as a church. And it led to the old saying, here's a church, here's a steeple, open the doors and sail the people. And the interior is gorgeous, with more Corinthian columns, with a ceiling with geometric / frilly patterns on it, which is in the Rococo style, and dark brown benches and bearing masonry. Now, in 2008, a new central window was installed in the nave because the original stained glass was damaged in World War II bombings, and it was designed by Shiraza Husari, a female Iranian artist, and it's a cross with distorted steel framing on the glass that makes it look enlarged / ballooned out and it lets a lot of light in. The church today has a music department and a choir that plays classical and Baroque music, and the video coming up is when I went to this church and they were actually practicing, like a symphony was practicing, so enjoy.